I searched long and hard to discover this trick to receive SMS codes, especially bank verification codes, while traveling abroad, so I hope it helps. Because there's nothing worse than getting locked out of your bank account because you can't receive a verification code while you're traveling. Stick to the end for all of the instructions so you don't make any mistakes with this one. First off, let me say that many people recommend just getting a virtual phone number like Skype or Google Voice, or there's a tons of other ones out there like it, but these don't always work. They might work for some codes in some apps, and maybe some banks may work some of the time, but they aren't consistent because banks are notoriously strict when it comes to these things, and if their system recognizes a virtual phone number, the code won't come through. And when it comes to accessing your money, you want a solution that is consistent. So here's the trick I found, and I've tested this on both a US phone number as well as an international phone number, and it's worked 100% of the time. This may look a little bit different depending on the exact phone you're using or the carrier you have, but at least it will point you in the right direction. On an iPhone, just go to your cellular settings, select your SIM from your home country, and then turn on Wi-Fi calling. When you do this, it should allow you to continue to receive text messages and calls while you're traveling abroad, as long as you have an internet connection. That means they should come through when you have a Wi-Fi connection, or if your phone has dual SIM capabilities, you can also get a local data plan or a travel eSIM, and your calls and texts will still come through as long as you have a data connection. I personally use travel eSIMs when traveling abroad just because they're way more convenient than hunting down local SIM cards. I recommend Olafly if you're a heavy data user and you want an unlimited data plan, but if you don't use that much data normally, then Aerolow usually has smaller and cheaper plans. I'll put some codes down in the description for both of these companies to get some discounts and free credit. I'll also link to the full reviews that I've done on both of them if you're interested in learning more about how they work. Okay, so there's two more really important points I want to make, but first make sure to like this video if you found it useful so far. It'll help YouTube show it to more travelers like you. So in order for this to work, you may have to turn on Wi-Fi calling while you're still in your home country. That means you should turn it on before leaving, and also while you're abroad, you can't turn it off. Otherwise, you may have to travel all the way home to turn it on again. The reason why I say that you may have to do it this way is because this is the way it works with my phone line in the US. That said, my wife has a phone line from Colombia, and she was able to turn on her Wi-Fi calling while we were in Brazil. So this may come down to what carrier you have, and you might just want to give them a quick call to make sure everything is set up correctly before you leave home. The second thing to keep in mind is that depending on your carrier, you may need to have an actual active plan on your phone in order to be able to receive these texts and calls while abroad. But not always. Apparently, my wife's plan in Colombia doesn't require her to have an active paid line in order to receive calls and texts. So for her, this strategy is essentially free. But from my experience in the US, and I could be wrong, you probably will need some sort of plan active in order to have a real number with a carrier that can receive texts. Since I live outside of the US and I don't want to have to pay for an expensive US plan, I found a super cheap option. If you just want to use it to receive SMS codes, you can set up a custom plan that just includes 50 text messages per month, and it comes out to around $4.48 per month. This is a price that I'm happy to pay to not be locked out of my bank accounts when I'm halfway around the world. So if you find out that this Wi-Fi calling strategy for some reason doesn't work with your current carrier, or you don't have a current carrier, you can just sign up for this cheap custom texting plan and cancel whenever you want because there's no contracts. I'll link to the plan below in case you're interested. This works with a normal SIM card that they'll send you in the mail, or you can sign up for an eSIM and get it set up instantly. So you just need to choose depending on what your phone is capable of. If you want to be able to make unlimited calls and texts while abroad to your home country, they also have another plan that's just a couple bucks more. I know all this phone and travel eSIM stuff can feel confusing when you're setting it up for the first time, So make sure to subscribe for more instructional videos and the best tech setups for travelers. And if you're interested in learning how to get instant data on your phone when traveling, check out this video next. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. Bye-bye.